Alright, good evening everybody. It's Dan here. I'm Dan's Game on Discord, Dan's Game 89 on Twitch, and I'm going to be making a video guide series for Mario Kart 64 this summer. It's going to be comprehensive, so I'm going to be talking about driving strategies, techniques, track strategies and techniques. We're going to be going beginner level, advanced level, all sorts of things. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. Our website, MarioKart64.com, has a lot of good written strategy guides on it, but to my knowledge, there's no real video strategy guide out there. There might be videos here and there, maybe some for shortcuts, but nothing really comprehensive, and so I'm finally getting around to making this video. I am going to be setting up input display and webcam that I'm going to point at my hands, so I can show you exactly how my hands move and how you should be doing techniques such as mini turbos and power slides and all that stuff. For right now, I don't have that set up, so I'm just going to be starting with track strategies. And so what better place to start than Luigi Raceway? I'm going to be doing a beginner track strategy video, and I'll talk a little bit about the more advanced strategies. I'm going to be playing NTSC for this. For those of you who don't know, there's two different versions. There's two main versions of the game. There's the NTSC version, which is North American, South American, I think Asian, like Japanese version, and the PAL version, which is Australian and European. The PAL version runs a lot slower than the NTSC version. It has to do with the fact that there are different types of TVs in America and Europe that run in different frame rates. So anyway, I'm going to be using NTSC for this because it goes faster, which will help when I'm kind of going through laps. So anyway, let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is, like, right before the third light, I'm going to hit A to go. And as a beginner, you're just going to want to drive straight here, not try to do anything crazy. In this turn, you're going to want to do 4 mini turbos if you can. And obviously I'll be talking about exactly how to do them in a later video. But just try to do 4, then drive straight. Do 1 mini turbo in the tunnel. You're going to do 1 around here. And then 3 or 4 in this last turn. Normally you would do 3, but you would do a mini turbo kind of leading into the turn. And then on this long straight, you're just going to drive straight for now. Sometimes, like when I was a beginner, my cart might have been going to the side. You want to try to keep it on the road, obviously. So maybe at first you're going to have slower mini turbos because you're maybe not as used to it. So if you wind up only doing 3 as a beginner, that's totally fine. I just did 3 there as an example. But you're going to want to do 4 once you can handle it. On lap 2, I'm also not going to use a mushroom here. As a beginner, I would... And when I was starting to compete at this game, I preferred to use all 3 of my mushrooms on the last lap. This way you can do a fast lap attempt as well as a 3-lap attempt in the same run. And I'm going to use my mushrooms at the end of the track. I'm going to be cutting off a large portion of the track through the sand. When you're using mushrooms, you don't slow down in the sand or grass, so it's really beneficial to use them there. And also, it's good to slide while you're using mushrooms, like I'm doing right now, because sliding actually makes you go faster than normal when you're in a mushroom. So that's what the 3 mushroom strategy looks like. 142 is a time, I think I got this time after like a couple weeks of playing this seriously. I mean, I've obviously played this game casually a lot when I was a kid. Anyway, there's going to be a few things that I want to explain now that are slightly more advanced techniques. As I already mentioned, when you are sliding during a mushroom, it's actually a little bit faster than just going normally. So in the beginning, when I get my start boost, if you can do it, even if you don't wind up getting a mini turbo, you're going to want to slide during your mushroom. And you'll get to see that when I'm racing against my ghost. If you don't know this, whenever you finish a race, on most tracks anyway, there is a ghost that will appear, which is the run that you just did. And every time you beat that ghost on a run, you'll save a new ghost for your next run. And for me, I would highly recommend that you get used to racing Ghost really early in your karting career, because Racing Ghost will always tell you where you can gain time, where you can lose, where you sometimes lose time, and is a huge part of what helped me get so good. Always comparing against my Ghost, always trying to beat my Ghost. And I've seen some upper level players that will try to race Ghost because they know they can learn about their driving from racing them, but because they're not used to racing them, they just find it really distracting, and then they just wind up not using them. So I would recommend early on cultivating that habit of getting used to racing your Ghost. So anyway, we're gonna we'll retry this run. I'm going to do a start slide here, and I will gain some time against my Yoshi Ghost. So you can see right there, I actually gained a little bit of time. When I had to untilt my controller stick, I lost some again, but it still wound up being faster. And then one more thing I want to show you here, an advanced technique is called a straight stretch mini turbo. I just did a mini turbo in the middle of the straightaway. It is really hard to do, and I don't recommend doing it as a beginner, but it's something that once you start getting a lot better, you might want to try that. And for example, I'll let my Ghost catch up and show you. Oh, I messed that one up. But when I'm doing my straight stretch mini turbos, I gain a lot of time. Obviously the Ghost hit some grass there, so that didn't help. Something you want to look out for is don't drive in like the sand or even on that white line, you'll lose some time. Anyway, so when you get better at this, you're going to want to try maybe a 1 shroom strat, which looks like this. That wasn't the best ending. Just gonna go faster here, do my straight stretch mini turbos, which are abbreviated as SSMTs. Not something I would recommend for a beginner, but I'm just habitually used to it and it'll help me go faster. On the last lap here, I'm gonna use 2 mushrooms, and when you use your 2 mushrooms, you don't need to hit the wall at the end. You're just gonna wanna do a mini turbo into the sand, jump into a slide, use your mushroom, and connect them like that. You want to use your second mushroom right as the first one is ending. And there you go. That's a 0-1-2 strategy. Because the 1 shroom lap is actually probably the most difficult to do, it's recommended to do that as your first lap, and then you can do your 2 shroom lap as your second lap. The first one I did here, the 142 flat, I got a 0-0-3 shroom strat. And that strategy is fine for beginners and is only maybe about 0.2 or 0.3 slower than the one that I just did. And it's also easier. So personally, I did the 0-0-3 mushroom strategy all the way until I was in the 139 range, and that's when I switched to the 1-2-0 strategy. And I'm going to just do one more run of this so I can show you explain a little bit more about the 1 shroom lap here. So when you're using 1 mushroom at the end of the lap, you're gonna want to try to hit the wall. And again, this is not really a beginner strategy, but just wanted to just talk about it because you will see players do it. You're gonna want to hit the wall at the end of your boost. So I use a boost into the grass, use my mushroom, and then hit the wall like that. You actually don't want that wall snag, and it does save you like 0.1 to get that wall boost as opposed to not hitting the wall. And that's called a mystery boost. I'll just do it one more time so you can see it. Staying close to the inside of the corner is really important as far as going faster. That will come with more control and practice. So I will get a mini turbo into the grass, jump into a slide, use my mushroom, try to hold it, and then hit the wall. I actually hit the wall slightly too late there, and I probably didn't get the mystery boost as a result, but either way, that's generally the idea. So anyway, the last thing I want to just talk about, and I'm going to save most of the driving strategies and techniques for later vids, but unlike karts like Mario Kart Double Dash and Mario Kart DS, when you're doing mini turbos, you're not going to want to do them super quickly in succession. You're going to want to space them out a little bit. And I will cover this in more detail in later videos, but as an example, you don't want to do like this. That's way too many mini turbos, and because of the extra distance that you're having to do as you're doing each slide, it's actually slowing you down. I could have just gone on. That actually also slows you down in the corner also, so like, you don't want to do... Sometimes you'll see players do like this. And this is really slow. Because the reason why it's like that is because when you are in a... When you release the mini turbo, you are in what's called a glide for a little bit of time. And you want to be in that glide for at least like a half second or more. So on the straightaway here, I'll space my mini turbos out like this. I messed that one up. Just wait a little bit and look something like that. Alright, last thing I will show you is exactly why you want to do power slides and mini turbos in each turn. Watch when I just try to turn to the left here without doing slides. See how much time I lose to the ghost, and I also lose to Luigi? And if I just hold one slide throughout the turn, then that's also pretty slow. I can beat Luigi that way, but I'm not going to do as good as I possibly can. Alright, anyway, so again, I was playing NTSC with this video. As a beginner, the very first times you're karting, you're going to want to be at like 2 minutes for NTSC. When you start utilizing some of these techniques, you can beat 150 pretty easily, and then keep working your times down through there. Anyway, that'll do it for the Luigi Raceway beginner video. I know I kind of went into some advanced stuff as well. This is the first video I'm doing, so obviously it's a work in progress, and there will be lots of videos about driving techniques and strategies and all that stuff. But for now, I wanted to get this out there. I hope you guys enjoy it, and have a good evening, everybody.